If you're just tuning in, this is going to be a pretty upper body intensively arm balancing flow. So not really recommend unless you really know your body, you're warmed up, you're already pretty strong in your arm balance practice. Otherwise, we're in child's pose, which is a great place to end or start anything. So if you're done with child's pose, just take a nice inhale. Feel the back of your body fill up all the way to your little curly tail. And then exhale like you're retracting the tail into the body from the front of your spine. Start to ripple towards all fours. Hello, all fours. All fours. Back and forth. Give yourself a little space here to make circles. So find your water element. You have a lot of it. Water element can be scary for some people because it's not structured. And a lot of people crave structure. Not me so much. I like a balance of flying by the seat of my pants and knowing what's going on. But I wasn't always that way. So come down to your forearms. Grab a block, karate chop your hands, and squeeze the block like an accordion. Let's do the breath together here. Inhale, fill the body like a balloon down to the base of your spine, tailbone, pelvic floor. And like a real trampoline, the base of your pelvic floor, as you exhale, is going to sort of pop up into the body. It's going to ripple the front and the sides of your spine long towards the heart. Maybe the upper body rounds a little, maybe not, maybe just extends. And then inhale, repeat the process. Let the breath widen your bones at the base of your body as you exhale. Draw that spine into your body. Let the other bones be just kind of along for the ride. In other words, don't clench your glutes when you're trying to lift the pelvic floor. So you just keep it very much to the muscles around the spine. All right, your next inhale, curl your toes. You can stay here as you exhale. Press into your front forearms. Lift your low belly. Come up to dolphin. Wide legs is really encouraged if you're not warm or if your hamstrings are a bit cranky. You can bend the knees as much as you need to as well. Just make sure the knees and toes are pretty well aligned, and keep the upper inner thighs rolling back just enough so you're not jamming your legs and your hips together. You got a little space in your hip creases. As you inhale, maybe deepen the hip creases for a moment with bent legs, and then keep your legs where they are, but exhale, draw your belly muscles out of your hip creases, start to wave forward to a kind of a hybrid of forearm dog and plank. And then as you inhale, push back. Stay where you are in space, but exhale, draw the legs and arms in towards one another so the energy comes into the core of your body, your torso. And then continue to let the breath pulse the inner body, or maybe you just want to breathe normally and not think. That's totally cool. I'm down for all of it as long as it's a mindful thing, right? Maybe the feet come together, maybe they don't. Just like we do in down dog, inhale, soften the limbs, press more into the outer edges of your wrists than your elbows if you can. Exhale, lift the belly into the body, take the right knee to the sky, make a circle one way. Breathe, and then exhale, make the circle the other way. Inhale, breathe to the top. Maybe you can open your hips. You got to really lift your bellies into your body, so, lift your intestines like into your body and up it. You may have to bend the standing leg. It's okay. Come up to your tippy toes on your standing leg if you can. Square the hips. And then let that foot come down. Maybe rest on your knees because my arms are getting tired. I'm pretty strong. You might be tired too. When you're ready, you can inhale, bend, widen the seat. Exhale, lift the belly into the body, left knee. Maybe make a circle on an exhale. Inhale, pause. I'm having trouble with the circle shape right now. I don't get it. Open the hips maybe. Try to kick your right shoulder with the left hip. Stretch it out when you're ready. Maybe come up to the right tippy toe. Play around with that leg, but remember that the belly should really be lifted. Take your foot down You're probably ready for child's pose if you haven't already. I'm ready. My arms are going to go back here, taking my hands so they can touch the inner feet, and then waving a little weight side to side. Breathing space down the back of my body, and then exhale, letting it just deflate. Right now I don't feel like doing any muscular action on the exhale, and you don't have to either. It's most important when you're transitioning from strong pose to strong pose, which is what a lot of vinyasa is. All right, hands down, roll up through the exhale lift. Adjust shirts, pants, socks, hair. All right, this is where the fun comes in, the extra fun. It's all been fun up until this point. So, down dog. Start with your feet about wrists width apart. When you inhale, you're going to soften and bend and press into those fingers, press those feet. Exhale, jump so you can line up your toes and your wrists. Try to find a brief little lift of the low belly, pulling your navel with your heels, find a crow. And then come down, or squeeze in. As you inhale, press into your fingers. Exhale, a little puff of the low belly. Shoot the left leg back. Maybe the right knee stayed up, maybe it collapsed. It's okay. It's cool. Inhale, exhale back. Open the hip, breathe in. Exhale, square, scoop, step it forward. Right leg lunge, inhale. Exhale, wave up. Breathe in, open the arms wide. Take your back heel down. Brief little warrior two action here. Feel free to weight side to side. Arms in front, right arm over left, eagle. Elbows to back of the mat. Perhaps gaze to front of the mat. If I feel my low back's a little crunchy, I bend the knees. I line up the front knee with the toes. Exhale, lift. Inhale, settle back in. That feels better for me. I don't know about you. And then from here, as you inhale, soften towards the earth. Exhale through your belly. Lift your back heel. Eagle to the front. Maybe twist it. You can release your hands and do normal hands. It's cool. Twist it here. Make sure the left hip bone shines down. Belly lifts. Lengthens. Inhale, opens. Exhale, lengthen, twist. Whatever feels good to you. Take your hands down towards the earth. Inhale, press a little more weight to the front foot. Lock your knee into the back arm or armpit. Exhale, lift your heel like you're going to kick yourself in the butt. Breathe. Exhale, kick it back. If you want to go through a vinyasa, you can, or you can prepare a little more in dolphin for the upcoming peak pose. So just chilling out, perhaps. Or if you want to, you can interlace your fingers, but the pinky create a pyramid with your arms. Remember that the outer hands and wrists tend to be very light, so you're trying to press equally throughout the whole arm and hands. And then as you exhale, maybe you practice gathering the arms into the shoulder girdle so the armpits get a little hollow. And when I'm in dolphin, I forget a little bit about my sacrum. I'm here too long, and I feel kind of cranky, so I gotta bend the knees, upper inner thighs, back. Kind of lift a little bit of the belly muscles out of the hip creases. Walk your feet as close as you can, which may not be any closer than you are. You gotta feel the gathering of the muscles in every now and again here. Otherwise, you will collapse outward. Step it back. Now from here, you can come up to down dog, or you may need to take your knees down first, which is cool. All right. So this time, when you jump forward, you can attempt to jump to crow, which is going to take the right amount of engagement at the right time, because even though you're gathering as you travel forward, at the right time you need to go, right? So ideally you're like that the whole time, so when you land there's no work to do. Otherwise jump to your feet like we did before, toes to wrists. Inhale. I want to try that again. Gotta go more forward. And one more time, because my knees went wide. Ta-da! Third time's a charm, right? It's kind of a messy crow, but it works. All right, so when you want to, if you really want to, exhale, little puff, right leg goes back. Inhale, pause, take it back. Exhale, scoop, step the left foot forward. Hello, lunge. Lungy goodness, inhale. Exhale, rise through the low belly. Inhale to the top, back heel down. Soften a little bit or a lot. Right? And then from here, I'm going to take the time to gather in as my knees go wide with whatever the toes are doing. And I settle in. Left arm in front, boom. Elbows to the back of the mat, gaze to the front, if that's okay with your neck. You may feel a little constricted here. If so, don't worry about it. Just come down here, or have your hands to your hips, and be the ultra cool warrior that you are. Otherwise, as you inhale, ground, get low. Exhale, spin back heel, use your belly. Come in for the twisted twist, as I call it. This is like the twisted sister pose. Totally. Right front hip points down, so you might actually have to lift it into your body, right? And then from here, this might be it. This might be the pinnacle. Try not to hang out into your body. Good. All right, take the hands down. Try to squiggle. You can have your back knee down for this, FYI. Your knee tries to get intimate with your back arm or armpit. Inhale, take more weight forward, maybe on your tippy toe. Exhale, squeeze your belly in first, so suck in that left ovary, heel to the butt. Inhale, exhale, scoop it back, open it up, be experimental. Good. Take it down. No vinyasa for you, unless you really need it. So we're going to try and open up some space here. So take your arms parallel. See if you can come to a dolphin from here. So remember, it's all from the core out. See how that feels. And take it down. Take the other forearm in front. Try to keep the shoulders slightly, elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. See how that feels. Okay, now, you might want to face a wall for this. Please don't be afraid to move. There are some days I'm scared to death of doing this pose. Right now I feel okay because I prepared myself for almost an hour to do it. So hopefully, but face the wall. Face the wall as close as you want. Don't be afraid to do it. You can do it on a mat. Take your time. This is your time. Find your wall. If you don't find your wall, I'm not responsible. So from here, I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable here today. Again, I've spent some time warming up and getting up to this point. So here comes the little dolphin. And a lot of people kick into this pose, and I say, if you want to kick into it to see what it feels like, do so safely with somebody there that you trust, like a yoga teacher, or another really practiced yogi, or somebody that like can teach gymnastics, because it's essentially what this is turning into if you want to get down to it. Or once you figure out what it's like and you're like, okay, that's cool, then you want to really learn how to press into your arm balances. Really want to learn how to do that. You will have infinite amounts of control. And the exhale is scissoring my legs back together. And that's how you save it. I was actually trying to go over on purpose. It's funny, when you try to go over on purpose, you get steady, right? Because you're trying to find that edge that you're usually scared of. So that's how you come out. That's how I come out. I always twist to the side. Okay? If you have the wall behind you, it's no big deal. You just go to the wall. When I first started doing this, I had the wall right up next to me. Then I started to have it further and further away. Now I'm no longer scared to fall. Could you hurt your shoulders twisting out of it in dolphin? Sure. That's why I'm telling you, be really, really careful. Got to do the other side, right? So that time I follow the same principles as I do in three-legged dog. I start low, I inhale, press down, I exhale, squeeze everything in, squeeze the armpits in, right? Now I'm going to do it with the other leg. Inhale. This is the weak side of my body. So you'll notice I don't have this internal rotation of the back leg when I start. I'm a little weak on that part. Now that for me is enough. If you want to go back and try again, you can. Let's do the block version before we sign off. I'm going to use the wall, just so you see it's totally cool to use the wall. Even after you feel like you've mastered something, the wall is a great way to find new nuances into old poses. So from here, come up, try the straddle press, and your head might even rest on the block. I don't recommend that, but, and there you go. So for me, the back of my head rests into my block, but my shoulders don't come into my ears. I'm still doing everything I can to gather things in, and I'm using core, nothing but core. They say it's all about that base, but for me, it's all about that core. All right, let's try again. So I'm lifting through the inner thighs, pelvic floor, and I come down. All right, guys, that's good. I think that's good for me. Is that good for you? We'll just keep the mat like this, eh? Sound good? All right, let's take it to the flow. Stretch those arms out, fingers reach in, elbows back. Keep a little Jalandhara Bandha here. So it's not just cramming your throat, making it hard to swallow. It's like a lengthening. Think of lengthening from your tail through your waistline, through the middle of your shoulder blades, up to the back of the skull and around, like a little hand cupping you. But then it's pulling you up. And then you can draw in. You should be able to breathe okay. There might be a slight feel of pressure, but not like constricting. All right, think about the bones of your skull moving up and forward rather than like everything else around it, the muscles and the skin. It's kind of a weird thought, but it might help. All right, so from here, if this is it for you, you don't have to do part 5, which is the cool down. Otherwise, you know what to do. Just wait for the next part of the video. And for that, we're going to prepare ourselves in this position here where you can stay and enjoy a little drawing in of the elbows. Make sure they are bent though. Pressing the whole fingers down. You may have to go wider to compensate for range of motion. And just chill out here, maybe close the eyes. Feel a pressing in of your sit bones. Not quite the sit bones. You're going to be a little bit on your sacrum, most people. Just kind of have that feeling. Like front of your shoulders are stretching. Chill here. Maybe wait for the next part, the last part, part 5.